Hi everyone. So let me just set everything up. I'm going to put you onto gallery view so I can see you. So if you feel comfortable, I would love to see your face. So pop your camera on, and you don't have to keep it on for the whole session, but it would be nice to just see some faces, know who I've got in the workshop this evening. So feel free to share your camera. Hi everyone, hi. Okay, so we're going to get started. Hi, Priya. So before we begin, let's just do some introductions. So if you don't already know me, I think a couple of you do, but if you don't, I will introduce myself. So my name is Huckstep. I am based in Bournemouth in the UK. It's down on the south coast. And I am a business coach focusing on empowering women to build the business of their dreams. So I work with women all over the world to help them build essentially their dream or their side hustle into a thriving business. And I use lots of different tools. One of them, journaling, that we're going to talk all about tonight. So I know that we're streaming on Facebook as well. But if you're on Zoom, I would love to know who you are, where you are in the world. So just pop your name in the comment box and tell me whereabouts you are. Okay, and you're going to need a journal. Obviously, if you have your happiness planner journal, use that one. And a pen, because this is going to be an interactive workshop. So we're going to be talking all about journaling, and I'm going to guide you through my process. So I'll talk a bit about that in a moment. Wow, we've got Sarah from Idaho, amazing. Howdy from Texas, we've got Wales, London, awesome. Very international this evening. Cool, okay. So I'm just going to share my screen with you and tell you a little bit more about what you can expect from this evening. And like I said before, if you haven't already, make sure you've got a journal and a pen to hand. Okay, so this evening we're going to be talking all about journaling for success. Now, journaling is a tool that I use with all of my clients to help them really tap into who they are, to help them feel grounded, and to help them connect to their dreams and desires. Journaling is such an amazing tool, and I want to help you feel really inspired after this evening's workshop to go and journal every single day. Okay, so just a little bit about me first of all. So like I said, I'm a business coach, and the main type of person I help are women who have a 9-to-5 currently, but they want to grow their side hustle into a thriving business. So I work with coaches, yoga teachers, all service-based entrepreneurs, and I help them feel really empowered through mindset and self-belief, but also really tangible, actionable strategies that they can put in place to grow their business with ease. I am also a yoga teacher and have a decade of experience working in marketing and branding. So I weave everything together in all the work that I do. And my style is very hands-on. Through my yoga and my mindset work, it's 50% self-belief. You know, really knowing who you are is the most important thing to be successful in business. And then 50% strategy, because self-belief isn't enough, right? You have to have the belief and then have the strategies to build that into the level of success that you want. So that's me. And I would love to connect with you. So again, if you haven't already, pop your name in the comment box. And if you want to share your Instagram handle, do that, and you can all follow each other and I can follow you as well. My handle is at Huckstep. And if you want to share anything that you're learning this evening, use the hashtag journal with M. So be sure to tag me in anything that you do share. Go and check it out on Instagram. And please do share, you know, after this evening, if you feel really inspired and you start journaling, tag me, use that hashtag, and I can check in and see all of your amazing progress. So what you can expect from this evening are 4 key components. You're going to learn how to journal effectively. Okay, so there's no right or wrong with journaling, but there is a way to journal with purpose. in order for you to find that success that you want. So that's what we're going to cover this evening. You are going to leave with an understanding of my proven 5-step method. This is the method that I use to get to the level of success that I'm currently at, and the method that I use with all of my clients as well. You will have a deeper connection to your inner wisdom, your inner intuition, however you refer to it. And you'll have a really clear framework to go and support your goals with. So I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment. I would love to know why all of you currently journal, if you do journal. So hopefully you already have a happiness planner, but if you currently journal, oh, we've got a little puppy. If you currently journal, just pop in the comment box why you do it, okay? I journal my prayers, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna say hi to a couple of others. Kate in the Peak District, Priya in London, Katie in Derbyshire, Kelly in London, cool. Okay, so I journal my prayers. Yeah, anybody else? Connect to myself, journal thoughts and goals, help me feel goal focused. Okay, so we've got a couple of topics there. We've got connection, so connection to yourself. We've got connecting to your goals. So we've got very internal and very external reasons for journaling. Anna isn't journaling regularly yet, but that's okay. You will be after tonight. My thoughts and dreams, yeah, and to process, yeah, really, really good point. So you'll notice from those comments, we tend to journal, like I said, for internal reasons, to connect, to reflect, or for external reasons, right? To think of dreams, to set goals in motion. I'm going to go back, hoping to get inspired today. I'm sure you will, Priya. Once you understand my process, it's going to become so simple and easy. We're going to want to do it every single day. Okay, so why journal? So we had a couple of comments there that already aligned to this, but firstly, it's a direct line to your intuition, right? How many times has somebody, specifically a coach or anybody working in wellbeing, how many times has somebody said to you, oh, you just need to connect into your intuition, you need to listen to your gut, you need to go with that feeling? And yet for some of us, it's this really kind of high concept idea, and we don't know how to even be guided by our intuition. Journaling is the key. So it is a direct line to your intuition. Journaling connects you to your dreams and your goals. So everything that you have up here, I see it all the time with my clients. They know they want more. They know they're meant for bigger things. They know they want to expand into something, but they don't know, they can't put their finger on it. Journaling connects you to those dreams and to those goals. Journaling supports you to understand how you feel, right? So understanding your emotional set point will let you know if you need to kind of raise it or bring it down slightly. This is also through the power of yoga. So this is how I bring my yoga into my journaling. Understanding how you feel gives you an indication as to what you need to receive and what you need to put out there. Another great reason to journal is that it instills a feeling of groundedness, right? And right now, with everything going on, being able to feel grounded is so important. And journaling, once it becomes a habit, will be that anchor for you. It will help you feel grounded. It's really easy to monitor as well and see changes through your personality, your mood, your habits, your goals. At the end of every year, I love to look back at my journal from a year gone and to see how far I've come, to see how my mindset has shifted, to see how my mood has grown, how I've grown as a person, as a business. So journaling is really such an amazing tool for self-development. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can start journaling really effectively after this evening. So the tone for this workshop, the big things I want you to remember is number one, focus on progress, not perfection, okay? It's really easy to get caught up in the world of self-development with having to do everything right every single day, every single week, every single year. Throw out that rule book and focus on progress, not perfection. If you pick up your journal once a week, that is better than picking up every day because you feel you have to. If you pick it up once a week and you enjoy it, it's something that grounds you and keeps you feeling connected, that is going to be far more sustainable and beneficial than if you put this pressure on yourself to be perfect, right? So let go of that. Progress, not perfection. There is no right or wrong way to journal. what I'm showing you this evening is my proven method, because when people want to journal, they have this desire to write and to capture these thoughts, but they don't know where to start. So this method gives you a framework, okay? But essentially there is no right or wrong way. So you can pick and choose whatever works for you. Be kind to yourself first. When you're journaling, you're opening up this gateway into your inner working, your inner self. Anything that comes up, try and approach it with kindness, without judgment, with an open mind. And get curious, through the workshop and when you're journaling. Get curious with yourself so that you're not putting this pressure on yourself, okay? If something's coming through and you're not sure what it means, get curious. Ask yourself, what does this mean? What does this thought mean? What does this belief mean that I'm having right now? I'm just going to check the comments. Okay, so if you have any questions as we go, pop them in the comment, and I'm going to pause periodically and just check them. Okay, let's get back to it then. Okay, so first things first, let's get pen to paper. So pick up your journal, your piece of paper, whatever you're using, and I want you to set your intention for this evening's workshop, okay? So your intention is, what do you want to get from this? How do you want to feel after this? What's your intention? And that really simply is, why did you sign up to this workshop? Why did you show up to this tonight? Is there something that you want answering? Is there something you want to learn? What do you want to get from this? So have a moment, have a little think. What do you want to get from this workshop? Okay, and then because this workshop is called Journaling for Success, and success means something different to everyone, I want you to take a quick moment and write down what success means to you. Now that is a big question, and maybe that's something to go journal on another day, but what's the first word that comes to your mind when you think success? For some of us, it might be money. For others, it might be family. For some of us, it's freedom, travel. Pick the first word that comes to your mind when you think about success. And then the next thing I want you to ask yourself is, how do I want to feel after this workshop? So I think Priya already said she wants to feel inspired. How do you want to feel after this workshop? When you get off the call, what's that sensation, that emotion that will be overriding for you? And these can all just be one-word answers or longer. It's totally up to you. And then finally, how do you want to implement what you've learned this evening? So maybe you keep yourself accountable in the Facebook group. Maybe you keep yourself accountable by tagging me and Happiness Planner on Instagram. Maybe you tell a friend what you've learned. Maybe you commit to journaling every day for 7 days to see how it feels. But how do you want to implement what you've learned today? Okay. Awesome work, everyone. So if anybody wants to share, oh, here we go, we've got a couple tools to get the best out of journaling. Brilliant. So if anybody wants to share any of that, pop it in the comment. Let's do a one-word answer. How do you want to feel after tonight's workshop? Priya wants to feel inspired. Tell me how you want to feel. Let's see if there are some common themes. Motivated. I want to commit to 7 days of journaling. Yes, Priya. Inspired. Okay, brilliant. Excited. Lots of similar themes coming through. Consistent. Amazing. This framework, Anna, is great for consistency because it takes out the guesswork. Sarah says yes to consistency. Okay, awesome. Right, let's get back to it. So my method, like I said, I use this. Oh, I've lost mine. Okay, like I said, I use this method on myself and with all of my clients when we get them into journaling. So my method is based on connecting to your past, your present, and your future to help support your dreams and goals and ultimately help you feel connected to you. So I really want you to take that away with you. It's not just about how you feel right now, it's about connecting to your past, connecting to your present and your future, and putting them all together. Journaling is also really, for me, about asking myself how I feel internally and looking at my external surroundings and bringing the two together to support my dreams and my goals. So my 5-step process, here's where we get to the good stuff. Number 1, get grounded. Number 2, find the good. Number 3, time to reflect. Number 4, set the intention. And number 5, aligned action. So over the next kind of 15 to 20 minutes, I will be guiding you through each of those steps. Now, before we begin, I know some of you have done a sound meditation, but I want to do a really quick 2-minute meditation to connect in. So journaling is amazing to do after a meditation or first thing in the morning, last thing at night, because your brain is much more connected to your intuition. Okay, your subconscious is open. So it's easier for you to connect at those times of day. So for some of us, when we wake up, it will be morning, and others, when we go to bed, it will be evening, depending on your work, your family life, etc. But really, if you can journal half an hour after waking, within half an hour, or half an hour before going to bed, your subconscious will be really open and you'll be able to connect. And if you can do it after meditation, even better. So I'm going to stop sharing just for a moment. So you can put your camera off if you want to, but wherever you are, just bring your hands into your lap. See if you can sit up straight. So if you're on a chair, just sit up a little taller. If you're on a chair or a sofa, just sit up. And if you feel safe, close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, just look down. And from here, just take a deep breath in through your nose. And then open your mouth and breathe out. And just take a few more of those until you feel just a little bit more relaxed. And as you continue to breathe, just breathe now in and out through your nose. Allow your shoulders to gently soften away from your ears. Allow your hips and your bum to be heavy on your seat. Allow your hands to gently rest in your lap. Relax your forehead and your jaw. The only thing that's moving is your chest and your belly as you breathe in and breathe out. And just take a moment, just breathing, just following that breath, just breathing in and breathing out. Allow yourself to feel grounded. Allow yourself to feel connected. And allow yourself to feel calm. So just use the breath to slow down your heart rate. Use the breath to relax your body. Come back to that rhythm of breathing, just in and out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, so just a really quick meditation to drop in. So let's get straight into it. This is where we are moving into the interactive section. So step 1 of this method is to get grounded. Okay, so grounded is all about taking inventory of how you feel. It gives you your power back, because when you know how you feel, you decide what to do from a place of connection and intuition, not reaction. Okay, so getting grounded is about doing your kind of mental, physical body scan. It's about knowing your set point, where you are right now, how you feel at this very moment. So I've got a few prompts here, And I'm going to read them out, and I want you to pick the one that feels the right one for you, okay? What are you grateful for right now? What's making you feel aligned? What's making you feel unsettled? What are you letting go of? What are you calling in? You can think of a word of the day. And then if you think of the word, think about how you can activate this word. So pick one of those and take a moment and write out the answer. Okay, so I'll go through them again. What are you grateful for right now? What's making you feel aligned? What's making you feel unsettled? What are you letting go of? What are you calling in? Maybe a word of the day. And it might be that you go for more than one of these. It might be that you go for maybe 2 or 3. But take your time. I'll leave them up on the screen. And I just want you to connect. You know, remembering there's no wrong, there's no right. You're just answering a question. And then if you find you've finished with one question, go on to another one. Maybe let's go for 2 or 3 so that you can really experience the different types of check-in questions that you can have. Maybe you just want to answer how you feel right now. You know, Sunday, how are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling physically? Journaling doesn't have to be complicated, right? It could just be, I feel this, or I'm experiencing this right now. My body feels this. You know, if you answer the question, what's making you feel aligned? You can think, okay, today, what made me feel really good, really connected? What made me feel really aligned to my goals, my mission? Maybe it was taking a yoga class, maybe it was going for a walk. If you think about what you're letting go of, you know, ask yourself, what today have I let go of? It's Sunday, so maybe I've let go of an expectation to do. Maybe I'm just allowing myself to be. We'll take a couple more minutes on this one, so keep writing, keep journaling. If you're not used to it, I know it can feel hard, but just write down one-word answers if you want to. That's fine. Remember, no such thing as perfection, just progress. You're just making progress. Okay. And if you didn't already do the word of the day for you right now, think of a word that describes how you feel right now in this very moment. How do you feel? And highlight that. That is your word. Okay, so that's step 1, getting grounded. It gives you a chance to check in with the present moment, right? So remember we talked about past, present, and future. Checking in with how you feel right now is your anchor point. It's about being grounded. So it allows you to go into the future and it allows you to visit the past without losing your way. Because if you think about moving into the past and the future, we can so easily get swept up with past experiences, beliefs. We can get swept away by future goals and dreams. But when you anchor yourself in the present moment, it gives you that point of stability. It's safer for you to then explore the other areas. So step 1 is all about being grounded. Okay. So let's move on to step 2, find the good. This is probably my favorite step because it's all about thinking of good things, okay? When you have an attitude of gratitude, your internal emotional set point will raise. So your emotional set point is your average emotional feeling on any given day. So for some of us, our set points are set at anxious all the time. For others, you know, you meet those people and they're just always happy. That's their emotional set point. So your emotional set point can change. It doesn't have to be stuck, but we all have one. So having an attitude of gratitude can help increase or raise your internal emotional set point. And when your set point has been raised, it helps you make decisions and take actions from a place of abundance. So having a lot, being grateful for what you have, rather than lack. When we make decisions from lack, we're making decisions that don't serve us. So if we think about money, great example for how we can make a decision based on abundance or lack. If an opportunity comes our way, right, and we're living in a place of lack, not enough, and that opportunity isn't aligned to us, if it presents money in some way, we might say yes, even if it will risk derailing us. Whereas if we're coming from a place of abundance, we're more likely to say no because we know it's not the right choice for us. So having an attitude of gratitude will raise your internal emotional set point, which will help you make decisions and take actions coming from a place of abundance rather than lack. So how do we raise that set point? We focus on gratitude. So I'm just going to stop sharing quickly. Just give me an emoji or yes in the comments if you currently practice gratitude. If you don't know what that is, I'll explain what it is in a moment. Sarah says yes, yes, okay. Yes, daily, amazing, brilliant. Okay, so the way that I practice gratitude is slightly different. Sonia uses happiness planner, amazing. Yes, took me a while to get there. Okay. Sometimes, yeah. Nice, honest answer from Kate, thank you. It's hard sometimes, isn't it, to admit that we don't do these things, right? Even though we know they're good for us, we want to say like, yes, I do all the stuff, but actually sometimes they do the stuff. Remember, progress, not perfection. Okay, so the way that I practice gratitude is that, again, I break it down into past, present, and future. So I want you to take a moment right now and check in. What are 5 things I feel grateful for today? And these are things that you have come into contact with directly today. So maybe it's your morning dog walk. Maybe it's your morning coffee. Maybe it's seeing the sunrise this morning. 5 things, 5 words. And great gratitude can be based on experiences, people, objects, feelings. You know, there's no rule book around what you can feel gratitude for. It could be finding £5 on the street. It could be waking up next to a loved one. It can be anything, but it's based on you. So 5 things that you feel grateful for today. So this is the present. I'm going to give you a moment just to keep writing, keep checking in. And as you write them, as you think of them and remember them, allow yourself to feel that gratitude. This is the whole practice. We're going to cover that at the end. Okay, so next thing. So we're going to end up with 20, right? Which sounds like a lot. If I asked you right now, write 20 things that you're grateful for, it can be overwhelming. This is why I break them down. Okay, so just finish up with those 5 things you feel grateful for today. And then the next is 5 things that you are grateful for that you haven't had today, but you've had in the past week. Okay? So the week previous, what 5 things are you grateful for? People, places, things, experiences, money. You can definitely be grateful for money. There's so much shame attached to money. And again, throw out that rule book. If you've earned money this week and you're grateful for it, write it down. It doesn't have to be this big thing that you're always grateful for. You know, sometimes it's just the smell of coffee. That's always mine. I've said that a few times. I love the smell of coffee. I feel so grateful that I have coffee in my life because it makes me happy. So anything that feels good for you, write it down. 5 things you feel grateful for that you've had in the last week. Okay, and then the next is 5 things you are expecting to be grateful for this coming week. So we've done present, we've done past, and now we're looking to the immediate future. 5 things you are expecting this week that you already feel grateful for. Okay, so we've done present, we've done past, we've done immediate future, and we're now going to look forward to the distant future. If you haven't yet got 5 for each of these, don't worry, we will have a little bit more time at the end. So now, to finish this section, I want you to think of 5 things that you want to feel grateful for. Something that you want to feel grateful for, maybe this time in a year, maybe this time in 5 years. What do you want to have gratitude for in your distant future? Okay, so take another couple of minutes. I'm just going to leave those on the screen. Keep writing if you're writing. If it's flowing, let it come through. So to recap, we've got 5 things you feel right now in this very moment, 5 things from the past week, 5 things from the week coming up, and then 5 things for sometime in the future. So 20 total. Okay, once you've done that, I want you to look at that list. Just look at that list of all those things you have to be grateful for. Keep looking at it and see if it brings up some emotion. Just keep reading it, keep looking at that list. You have all of those things in your life. You have all of those things yet to come to feel grateful for. Okay, moving on to section 3, time to reflect. So far out of our 5-step process, we've focused on the present. So we've taken time to feel grounded, we've connected to the good, and we're now going to do some reflecting. So this is the 3rd stage of my method. Reflection is like looking into a mirror of your past self. Okay, so you can see the good, the not so good, but you can also see the bits of you that you didn't even see to begin with in the old version of you. How many times have you actually stopped and reflected back and thought, I didn't even realize I felt that, but now I can see that I felt that. Or I didn't even realize that I made that decision that was wrong for me, even though at the time, I knew deep down that it was, but I didn't know. So we have the capacity now to look back and really take inventory of our actions, our habits, our beliefs from a previous version of ourselves. And previous version could be the last week, the last month, the last year, the last decade. That's up to you. But in business, when we're looking at building success, this is what I work with my clients on, reflection is an opportunity to look at how you behaved, to look at how you reacted, to look at how you responded to situations. And it gives you a really good point to make decisions based on how you want to respond, how you want to react, how you want to be moving forwards. Remember, it's not about judgment or criticism, it's just about awareness. You're becoming aware of who you were in order to help become who you want to be. So again, I've got a list of questions. It's up to you how many you do on this with this journaling right now. But I'm going to read them out, and I want you to, again, think of the question that speaks to you, right? What has gone well for you this week, maybe this month, maybe this year? What has gone well for you? Another question could be, who has had a positive impact on me, on my business, on my family, on my work? How have you had a positive impact? Maybe what lessons have you learned in the last week, last month? You can ask yourself, how have I managed my energy this week? So this is a really good one. If you're feeling, it's Sunday, if you're feeling burnt out, how did you manage your energy? Reflect on that. How have you felt in your body? A really tangible one. So for those of us who struggle to connect into our mind, how you felt in your body gives you that insight in a much easier, accessible way. How has your mood been? So pick a question, again, maybe 2 or 3 that resonate with you, and take your time and answer them. You can write down words, you can write down feelings, anything that speaks to you. Okay, so you've got about another minute. Okay, so just write down any final words, feelings that you have. Okay, now we're going to move into the future. So we've done present, we've done past, and now we're going to set intentions. So setting an intention, similar to being grounded, setting an intention is about giving you a point to start your week, your month, your year at. It's a chance for you to think about how you want to show up. It's a chance for you to think about what you want to achieve, how you want to feel. Tuning into what you want to be, do, and have will connect you to your deepest desires and dreams. It's the first step to being the person you want to be. Setting your intention. I'm not going to talk about goals this evening, but for those of you that are interested in goal setting, if in your business or personal life you set goals, setting an intention before a goal will give that goal much more strength and make it much more achievable. When something is rooted in feeling, it gives you motivation to move forward. Think about why we do anything in life. It comes from emotion. When we make a purchase, when we say we want to work with someone, when we sign up to something like this, it's coming from a place of emotion. So tuning into what you want to be, what you want to do, what you want to have will connect you to that, connect you to your desires, your dreams. So questions to set the intention. What would you like to do? Who would you like to be? And you can do this for a week, for a month, for a year. So maybe for a week, if this is new to you, who would you like to be this week? Simple as that. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be calm? Somebody who's calm, who responds, rationally and from integrity rather than always reacting? What would you like to receive? Or the opposite, what would you like to give? Or just simply, how would you like to feel? So set your intention. Pick one of those. Start with that. Don't question the responses. The beauty of journaling is that we want it to get to a point where it flows without forcing. So the first word that comes to your pen as you write it, that's the right word for you. No judgment, no expectations. It's just you, your pen, you and your journal, you and your intuition. Okay, I'll give you another minute for that one. And then we're going to move on to our final 5th step of this method. Okay, so I'm going to change slides now. I'll make sure somehow that you have access to these prompts afterwards. Okay, so, it should say number 5, but it says number 4. Oh well, progress, not perfection in this space. Taking aligned action. Okay, so to journal for success is to first connect. So that's all the work we've done so far, and then to take action. Aligned action is a full body yes, right? Taking aligned action means you can feel it in your body, you can sense it in your mind, and you can feel it in your spirit. Think of a time that you have said yes to something that felt like the best yes you have ever said. It feels like a full body experience. Saying yes to something that isn't aligned doesn't. So using everything you've done to take aligned action is so important. We don't want to use all of that work and then go and put it into the wrong places. We want to put it into something good, driving our dreams forward. So go back to your intention answers, and I want you to ask yourself, what do I want to do to move these intentions forward? So pick one intention, right? One intention that you wrote down, how you want to feel. Let's go back. What you want to do, be, have, receive, give, feel. So pick one of the answers that you wrote for them and think about, what do I want to do to move these intentions forward? So if somebody wants to share an intention, I'll give you an example of how you can move this forward. So if anybody, if not, I'll pick one, it's absolutely fine. But if anybody wants to share an intention, let me know, and I'll talk about how you could move that forward as an example. Okay, to be decisive. Thank you, Artie. Right, let's go back to this. Okay, so if my intention is to be decisive, what do I do to move forward with that? You know, how do I make sure that that intention turns into an action? Well, maybe to be decisive, I decide to challenge myself this week on making 3 key decisions for my business. This is an example. So for me, for example, I run my own business. I have a number of clients. If I'm struggling with a decision, and I've been struggling with it for a while, and I know that I want to feel decisive, maybe I decide right now to make that decision this week. And by doing that, I'm halfway there. I'm going to meditate on it, that's aligned action. I'm going to journal on it, that's aligned action. And by the end of the week, I am fully committing to make that action. Sorry, that decision. What else have we got? An intention to have control over my thoughts. Okay, Benny, great example. Okay, so if my intention is to have control over my thoughts, my aligned action might be to witness those thoughts first and foremost, to meditate on them, to journal some more. Journaling is great for becoming aware of your thoughts. And in order to control your thoughts, maybe you give yourself a scenario and challenge yourself. So previously, if you are in a situation, you know, let's say you're in a friendship group and your thoughts are always running away with you, maybe you put yourself in that situation purposely, and you challenge yourself to just witness those thoughts and see if you can catch them before they get taken away from you. That would be taking aligned action. Let's see if we've got anyone else. No, okay. So an aligned action is you're doing something in relation to an intention. Write out the first step for a couple of your intentions, and I want you to look at those and think and ask yourself, which of these feels like a full body yes? So if deciding to work on your decisiveness, because if you're already deciding that, then you're already working on it in some way. Yeah, that's ironic. But if you want to be more decisive, taking aligned action is to look at every example that you've written out for how you could do that and look, okay, what is the full body yes? Maybe it's committing to say yes to something new this week. That's going to support me to be more decisive. Maybe it's committing to say no to something this week. Maybe it's simply committing to become aware of when I'm being indecisive. But ask yourself, which feels like a full body yes? Because if you want to take action on these intentions, it has to come from that emotion, remember? You're not going to do actions that I just tell you to go and do right now. That's not how we work. It has to come from in here. It has to come from you. Pick the one that makes you feel the most aligned and make that your first action. Okay, so to recap, because we are almost, well, I think we're actually just over time quickly, but to recap, the 5 steps. Number 1, get grounded, okay? Number 2, find the good. Number 3, time to reflect. 4, set the intention. And 5, align action. 5 simple steps that you can do when you journal. So next time you pick up your journal, you have a proven method to connect you into yourself, right? So you're going to get grounded. You're going to notice your emotional set point. You're going to spend some time focusing on gratitude. The more you do this, your past, present, and future gratitude, remember, we're raising that emotional set point. So we know where it is, we're getting grounded, we're raising it up. We're then reflecting on what has gone well for us, what hasn't gone well, what we want to move forward, what we want to let go of. We're setting intentions for what we want to bring in, who we want to be, what we want to have, what we want to do. And then we're using all of that to take aligned action. So they're the 5 steps. Now, because there are 5 steps, you can spend as little as 5 minutes a day doing this. Just 5 minutes, 1 minute on each step. Quick fire, one-word answers. If you're new to journaling, start there and build on it. If you can't do this every day, then try it once a week, like we've just done now. You can sit once a Sunday and go through all of those prompts and really connect into yourself. Set your intentions for the week ahead, take inventory of how you feel, look at what went well, what didn't go well. And if you want to take this further, I do this once a month and once a quarter. Again, it's just a really good way to check in with yourself. Remember, this is about connection first, action second. So this isn't about doing, this is about being. Because being successful is, first of all, believing in yourself. When you believe in yourself, above all else, you are successful. The external stuff comes second, I promise you. So this is about connection first and action second. Tips to support you on your journaling journey. Remember, be kind, right? Be kind to yourself, no judgment, no criticism. Approach this practice with curiosity. Try after meditation or breath work. It just helps you drop in a little bit deeper. We want to get out of our head and more into our body. Try. Hi everyone. I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It wouldn't be a Zoom meeting, would it, without some kind of tech issue? Okay, so that was the method finished. So now we just had time for Q&A. So hopefully you've just been busy journaling whilst I was gone. But if you have any questions, please do let me know. So this is your chance to ask me everything about journaling, about using all of those methods to find that level of success that you want. So if you have questions, please do let me know. Okay, I'm going to go through all these questions, right? So hopefully you can hear me now. Like the end result, okay, somebody asked, what if nothing feels like a body reaction? Is it okay to just know you will feel discomfort to carry on with the intention? Okay, so a body reaction is, if you can't connect to that idea of having a whole body reaction or a full body yes, think of one place where you know you feel a physical reaction when you make a decision. So if you feel a physical reaction in the palms of your hands when you're about to do something nerve-wracking, that is a physical reaction. If you get a physical reaction when you're about to speak to somebody that you fancy in your belly, right, that's a physical reaction. Maybe you get a little heart palpitation when you're anxious, that's a physical reaction. We all have physical reactions, some are milder than others. It's just knowing how to notice them so that you can then use them to your advantage. So if you're unfamiliar with those kind of reactions, your action is to start and notice them, right? So every time you have a conversation with someone, if it's a loved one or someone you work with, ask yourself, am I getting a physical reaction somewhere in my body? How does this feel in my body? In terms of pushing through with discomfort, I mean, is it okay to just know you will feel discomfort? Some discomfort when you're connecting to your intuition is fine, because for most of us, it's this concept, this thing that we aren't used to. So a discomfort, right? We can scale it from 0 to 10. 0 is like, you know, maybe texting somebody that you fancy. It's a little bit uncomfortable. 10 might be handing your notice in at work. It's really uncomfortable. You can scale that discomfort and only work within the parameters that feel good for you. Hopefully that makes sense. The end result is what you want to feel as opposed to the steps you get there. I think I'm understanding what you're saying. Yes. So my aim for this is for you to understand that feeling into something is more important than the strategy and the action behind it. Believing in yourself comes first. Connecting with yourself comes first. And the action and strategy to implement your goals and dreams comes second. If you allow the action to come from a place of intention and integrity within you, the results will be more aligned and therefore be more sustainable. Rather than you making a snap reaction or a snap decision, it's coming from what you want and who you really are. Can we have a copy of the workbook? Yes, of course. I will send it to Happiness Planner and hopefully they can distribute it for you either by email or on the Facebook group. And if you go and follow me on Instagram, you can always DM me on there and ask me any more questions. Anna says, should the intention be a feeling as opposed to an action? Yeah, an intention is a feeling, okay? So your intention, think of it as your slower side. It's about really connecting to, you know, the part of you that is real. It's about being rather than doing. Taking action is about doing. It's kind of more masculine, right? Intention is connecting and it's a little bit more feminine. If anybody has any more questions, please do pop them in the chat. And like I said before, if you want to follow me on Instagram, ask me any more questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you. And like I said, I will send the Happiness Planner the slideshow with all of the prompts and the method on there so you can have that to keep. Okay, if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, everyone. I know we've lost a few people, but thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. It's been my absolute pleasure guiding you through this workshop. One more thing, Artie, I will meditate on the intention as opposed to strategy. Yes, start with your intention. Yeah, intention first. Okay, brilliant. Oh, wonderful, everyone. Thank you so much. It's been my absolute pleasure. Hopefully I connect with you all again in some way. Have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, lovely evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Awesome. Thank you, Priya. Thank you, thank you. And again, apologies for that tech mishap. But like I said, it wouldn't be a Zoom workshop without at least one, would it? I feel like in this world at the moment, it's so normal. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Ah, amazing. Take care. Big love, everyone. Bye.